So I just finished the video and I found it to be really interesting. And I think this has a lot to do with the fact that it has so much to do with what's happening in our world today. Having a newly elected president, we're seeing a lot of social movements that are becoming very prevalent today. And so the first thing that I found interesting that she talked about in the video were things are rarely new. Social movements don't just emerge or come out of nowhere. They begin at a smaller core group. And I thought about the feminist movements that are going on and how all these celebrities are getting involved. And you see on TV and the internet thousands of people showing up at these protests and rallies and marches to take a stand for feminism. And so I looked up some of the movements, and a social movement for feminism actually really began in the 1960s, but probably much more before that. There was women, small groups that led up to the big movements that began in the 1960s. So I thought that was really neat. And she talked about how political opportunities, changes in government, are often open challenge claims by people when they feel threatened by new government changes. And that's what we're seeing, what's happening right now in today's society with feminists and immigrants feeling threatened by what's going on, and people either wanting to take a stand to help them or them actually taking a stand for themselves and becoming a bigger part in these social movements. The second thing that she talked about that I found to be really interesting was how do you get people to participate? And I think in anything in life, I think this is a huge question. So she says that you can't just get people to support something. You have to actually get them involved. And how do you do that? Involvement is time, energy, and commitment. So it's all three of those things. But how do you do it? Well, she says that you have to get them involved using existing organizations. And I just think that is a great idea. You use things like church if you're in the South. And I thought it was very specific that she said church in the South. You have to think about your target group and how you're best going to get them involved. So being that the church is a huge thing in the South, we're considered the Bible Belt. That's a great way to get us involved in social movements. And I think that's anything. You just have to think about what area you're trying to target. Because you can be on board with something and you can be excited about that change, but unless you're really involved, are you really participating in that social movement? So I thought that those were two really interesting things that she talked about.